Hey folks, Patrick again. Kind of a second video on the day in regards to the Finland matter and where we're kind of going from here. I've had some people reach out to me about what this really does mean, and kind of had a little while to kind of think about it and where we go from here. And it seems like the West is really painting Russia and Vladimir Putin into a situation that he's not going to have any other way out of it other than extreme conflict. And we've talked about the market over the last little while and what that means and where we're going. And, we're kind of sitting on this precipice of a housing potential inflection down. The stock market has been getting crushed, especially, anything that's tech or speculative in nature, anything that's a growth potential that is pre-profit or developmental. So how do you turn that around? As Western nations, right? When we look historically, war is a stimulator of economy. And I'm concerned that what we're doing right now is, after the invasion of the Ukraine, we rushed in to help Ukraine. And that's, your politics aside. Where we are in Finland right now creates a two-front war for Russia. It would create a massive border to the north of Russia. Again, Finland and Russia are mainly land-bordered nations, like they are together. If NATO accepts Finland, I don't know how Russia doesn't embark on an all-out war. They realize that this is right at the edge of their nation. I think the next 48 hours are going to be very telling. I think that, especially right now, as the world is, starting into some of the preparation for holidays and getting out and back to some of the normalcy of life, after lockdowns, people are enjoying the weather. They're out doing things. They're not paying attention to world events right now. I'm wondering if that's where this is going, is that this is the precursor or the drum beating to major world conflict. So it's a little bit concerning the more that we dig into this and the more that we realize who these leaders are that are developing this. Vladimir Putin, apparently, there has been, news media talk about health crises with Vladimir Putin, that he could have a rare form of blood cancer. I've heard different stomach cancers being alleged. But all of these things paint an individual who has nothing to lose if he's dying. If you have a world leader that has nothing to lose because they're dying, they have a hate for the West, as described by the media, and we're painting them into a corner, that's a recipe for danger. And up until this point, I never really had a concern over the Ukraine and starting World War III and that it was going to be a proxy, isolated war. But the United States Congress just signed a $40 billion funding package for the Ukraine. Well, $40 billion of American taxpayer money is going to go to help combat the Russians in Ukraine. Do we do that for Finland now? Do we have a Finland emergency process that we're going to put into place? I don't know if you folks are aware, and those in Canada maybe not be, but the United States is going through a baby formula shortage, like massive. 1/3 of production is down for baby formula. So it's not able to be found, and it's very expensive where it is found. Yet we're sending $40 billion and potentially more if Finland comes and gets involved in an aid package to combat Russia. As of today, I'm a little bit more concerned about the geopolitical landscape and the drum beating of war. I'm not that guy. I'm not usually one of those, individuals that look at war. There's some other things that I look at, a little tin hat at times. But this is feeling like they're painting them into a position where World War III and a major conflict could brew. Now, why? Why would they do that? Let's, kind of follow the money. As inflation fires up, demand is what causes inflation, the more demand, right? So we've talked about this before, is that the Federal Reserve Bank is going to work on the demand side things. They're going to crush it. They're going to make it almost impossible for liquidity in the market to occur, and therefore that's their hammer crushing down on inflation, okay? You don't have any money, you're not buying the more expensive stuff. Therefore, inflation goes away. It's more or less a psychological event. The issue now is that when you go to war, that demand is absolute. It has to be a thing, right? The war creates the demand because you need to fight it, right? So are they inflating the economy on purpose? And if so, why? Why would they inflate an economy? Okay. Well, we increased value of the debt all the countries around the world through COVID by trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. So again, going back to how do we stem inflation? We increase interest rates, okay? Well, interest rates hit everybody. They hit you, they hit me, they hit anyone that has debt. Well, if you go into debt, millions and millions and millions, trillions, sorry, T, not M, of dollars around the world to stop COVID, that hits you hard too. So if you inflate everything without the downside, what you end up having is an economy that pays for itself, right, through taxes. If you have a $1 item and your tax rate is at 13%, they make 13 cents. If that's a $2 item, they make 26 cents. See how it works? So I'm wondering if they're inflating this artificially for a short period of time to tackle that. And time will tell, and I think we're at the beginning of this, not the end. But if we go to war, inflation will occur, price actions will continue to flounder, and it will be a problematic time. I don't know why Finland decided today. But anyways, that's my thoughts on today. Hoping that this week ahead will be a little bit more information and a little bit more interesting into where we can go from here. But like always, check us out on YouTube. If you're watching us there, we also have some of the social media sites. Check us out there. Share, like, and subscribe, and that's our take on the day. As always, Patrick from Soaring Profits, and let's make some money together, folks. Thanks again.